Dennis, what are your thoughts on all the chatter here as of late, going back to talking about the college football playoff and the potential expansion of that? Obviously, we've had comments from Warren and Sankey and power players involved in that, kind of revisiting the topic here lately. How much of an impact, or I guess first of all, how much do you believe that something could get done sooner rather than later in terms of that? And how much does that also become a wild card in what conferences may be looking at is what that setup could be sooner rather than later?
Well, Mark Keenum, who's the president of Mississippi State and the chair of the CFP Board of Managers right now, basically said he thinks it'll get done by next summer, which is really shocking. As of February, we're going to have to wait, 4 more years to even revisit this?
Yeah.
And now the commissioners themselves have floated the idea of 16. This is just my opinion. I think that's where we're headed because it's too easy. With 16, because we have some sort of settling now. So 32 teams at the top, Big Ten, SEC. With 16, that provides for the max that either of those schools could get in. Let's say 4. That's 18 per year, and that I think that's being generous, but that's why you do 16. So the power conferences can get all they want. That leaves 8 other spots for the other conferences plus Notre Dame. If you just look at any top 16 at the end of the season, before the season, middle of the season, let's say the AP poll, the top 16 teams are going to get taken care of. That's a legitimate playoff in anybody's mind because they're also, I don't know if you noticed, Sankey's talking about all at large, no conference champions, no automatic champions, which then it makes it even more accessible, I think, to the group of 8. Oh, okay, if our conference champion gets upset, he can still get in. It's not automatic. Yes, you can. I think that's where they'll end up, and it makes a lot of sense. What I can't get past yet is how they sell this 2 teams playing 17 games. 2 teams in the championship game will probably end up playing an NFL schedule. And I don't know how they sell that. I know how they were selling it for 12, that the average team in the playoff is only playing less than, 1 more game per year. Mm-hmm. Because with Notre Dame, it doesn't play a conference championship game. So if you sell it that way, yeah, it makes sense. But every year there's going to be 2 teams playing 17 games. I don't know how they get it.
Dennis, would you recognize if 2 conferences go big and then decide based on network or whoever that they're going to have their own national championship playoff?
Well, that's the leverage here, isn't it? That they're saying it without saying it. And Greg Sankey has already said, hey, if you guys don't want to agree, we can have, we'd have our own playoff. I don't know how somebody would pay for that. I don't know what it would determine, but they could do it. With the Big Ten, you're just about there. There's not many teams you'd have to add to have a legitimate playoff with those 2 leagues. And a network would pay big money for that. Cincinnati goes undefeated, who cares? I'm not saying that. I'm saying they could. Right. Boise State goes undefeated, who cares? Then you're talking about Clemson, Florida State, Miami from the ACC. It's either join up or do what we say. You could see it happening. Or we'll just do it ourselves. I don't know if the presidents would allow it, but they've gotten this far. They ripped asunder 2 leagues in the last 2 years with the help of the Big 12 and the Pac-12. The Big 12 reorganized. I don't know if the Pac-12 is going to. They probably will, but they've shown no remorse in that case. So if the presidents are running things, it sure doesn't look like.
Dennis, one more thing for me.